Borders around the world often represent more than just lines on a map. They can mark dramatic shifts in culture, politics, and daily life. These divisions tell stories of history, diplomacy, and the fascinating ways human societies organize themselves, unveiling 10 international borders where the differences between neighboring nations will truly astonish you. Before we begin, subscribe to Information Thin, share with geography lovers, and tell us which border fascinates you most in the comments. Trust me, your mind can't handle number 4. Number 10. Arctic border. This remote border crossing at Storskog in Norway and Borisovlevsky in Russia represents the dividing line between NATO and Russian territory. The Norwegian side features modern, efficient facilities with strict but professional border controls, while the Russian side maintains more extensive security measures and Soviet-era infrastructure. What makes this border particularly unusual is the significant time zone difference. Despite being just a few meters apart, the two sides are separated by 2 hours due to Russia's unique time zone system. The crossing sees limited traffic, primarily consisting of local border residents and occasional diplomatic missions, with both sides maintaining a correct but cautious relationship. Number 9. Special Administrative Border. The boundary between mainland China and Hong Kong represents a unique one country, two systems arrangement. While both territories are part of China, they maintain separate immigration controls, currencies, and legal systems. The border features sophisticated checkpoints like the Lok Ma Chau and Shenzhen Bay crossings, processing thousands of people daily. Travelers experience immediate differences in language usage, with Cantonese dominating in Hong Kong and Mandarin prevailing on the mainland. The border also marks a dramatic shift in internet accessibility, with Hong Kong maintaining open internet access while the mainland operates behind the Great Firewall of China. Number 8. Korean Division. The Korean Demilitarized Zone represents one of the world's most heavily fortified borders, separating North and South Korea since the 1953 armistice. This 4-kilometer-wide buffer zone stretches 250 kilometers across the Korean peninsula, featuring fences, landmines, and guard posts on both sides. The border area includes the Joint Security Area at Panmunjom, where diplomatic meetings occasionally occur under tense circumstances. At night, satellite imagery reveals the dramatic contrast between the brightly lit South Korean cities and the largely dark North Korean territory. Despite the political tensions, the DMZ has accidentally become a nature preserve, hosting numerous endangered species. Number 7. European Enclave border. Melilla represents one of Spain's 2 sovereign territories on the North African mainland, creating a European Union border directly with Africa. The border features extensive fencing systems designed to prevent irregular migration while allowing legal cross-border movement. Spanish and Moroccan authorities maintain close cooperation on security matters despite occasional diplomatic tensions. The crossing reveals immediate cultural contrasts, with European architecture and infrastructure on the Spanish side transitioning abruptly to Moroccan urban landscapes. Local residents from both sides engage in regular cross-border trade, taking advantage of the economic differences between the two territories. Number 6. Community border. The border between Derbyline, Vermont, and Stansted, Quebec, represents one of the most integrated international boundaries in the world. The border literally runs through several buildings, including the Haskell Free Library and Opera House, where patrons enter from the US, but the stage is in Canada. Residents of these twin towns maintain close social and economic ties, with many families having members on both sides of the border. Security measures increased following 9/11, but the communities continue to share services and maintain their unique cross-border relationships. The international boundary is marked by subtle indicators like plaques in the sidewalk rather than visible fencing. Number 5. Rock border. The border between Gibraltar and Spain represents a unique political situation where a British overseas territory meets the European mainland. The crossing has experienced various levels of restriction throughout its history, reflecting the ongoing diplomatic discussions about Gibraltar's status. Workers cross daily from Spain to Gibraltar, where they find higher wages, but also higher costs of living. The border reveals immediate differences in language, currency, and infrastructure, with British-style red post boxes and telephone booths visible just meters from Spanish architecture. Recent agreements have aimed to facilitate smoother border movement while respecting the different political arrangements on each side. Number 4. South American border. This border separates Brazil from French Guiana, which remains an overseas department of France, and thus part of the European Union. The crossing at Saint-Georges, French side, and Oiapoque, Brazilian side, represents the meeting point of South American and European systems. Travelers experience a dramatic shift from Portuguese to French language, from Brazilian real to euros, and from national Brazilian regulations to EU laws. The Oiapoque River Bridge, completed in 2017, symbolizes the growing connection between the two territories, while maintaining their distinct political and cultural identities. The border area features cooperation in security and environmental protection, despite the significant administrative differences. Number 3. Mountain Kingdom border. Lesotho represents a unique geographical situation as an independent kingdom completely surrounded by South Africa. The border features multiple crossing points where travelers transition between the high-altitude mountainous terrain of Lesotho and South Africa's varied landscapes. The boundary reveals economic contrasts, with Lesotho's economy heavily dependent on South Africa, while maintaining its own cultural and political identity. Many Basotho people work in South Africa's mining and agricultural sectors, while maintaining homes in Lesotho. The border also marks a linguistic shift, with Sesotho becoming the primary language alongside the English and Afrikaans, more common in South Africa. Number 2. Town border. The border situation in Baarle represents one of the world's most complex international boundaries, with Belgian enclaves existing within Dutch territory and vice versa. The border literally runs through buildings, streets, and even individual homes, with some houses having their front door in one country and their kitchen in another. Residents must carefully note which country they're in for matters like voting, schooling, and business regulations. The border is marked by white crosses in the pavement, with subtle differences in architecture and urban planning revealing which country administers each parcel of land. This unique arrangement functions smoothly due to extensive cross-border cooperation and historical agreements. Number 1. Desert border. UAE/Oman, Al Bahraini. The border between Al Ain in the United Arab Emirates and Al Bahraini in Oman represents a modern division of what was historically a single oasis settlement. The border features sophisticated immigration facilities, processing significant daily traffic of workers, shoppers, and visitors in both directions. Travelers experience immediate differences in fuel prices, consumer goods costs, and business regulations between the oil-rich UAE and more modest Oman. The border area has developed distinct urban characters, with Al Ain featuring extensive modern infrastructure, while Al Bahraini maintains more traditional Omani characteristics. Despite the political division, residents maintain strong family and tribal connections across the border.